This is my capstone final video for Fall 2 of 2011 in the Masters of Education in Digital Teaching and Learning at Azusa Pacific University. I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. As a child, I looked up to my first grade teacher. I knew that I wanted to be just like her when I grew up. I would play school with my friends, and I was always a teacher. During summer vacation, I would make homework sheets for myself, and everywhere I went, I would carry my notebook and my pencil. I had that joy for learning that I now hope to see in my students. It was there because of the teachers I had in elementary school. I had teachers who were loving and caring, who were really inspiring and did their best to ensure that we all tried and succeeded in all we did. It was these teachers that helped me fortify my dream of becoming a teacher. I knew that I wanted to be like them and that I wanted to instill this love of learning into other students as they had instilled in me. I started my educational journey at Cal State Fullerton, receiving my Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies. I then began to look into schools for my teaching credential, but soon realized that it would be difficult to receive my credential from Cal State Fullerton, as their credential program is geared towards the non-working student, which I was not. I needed a program that was not only geared toward the working student, but that was a little more fast-paced. Having these big, lifelong dreams of becoming a teacher and of doing all that I can to help children through education, I knew that I needed to get into a good school that focuses not only on education, but on being a kind, loving, and understanding person. After researching through the internet and word of mouth, I realized that Azusa Pacific University was the school that met my criteria. Not only is it committed to excellence in higher education, but it also strives to model Christ-like behavior in all aspects of life. Azusa Pacific University gave me the opportunity to grow professionally and spiritually as well. As I was collecting information on the programs at APU, I saw that they offered multiple subject credential along with the master's program. I knew that I eventually wanted to receive a master's degree, so what better time to do that than now? I loved the idea of being able to trim off some time by doing the combined program. My next step was looking into which masters I wanted to pursue. After giving it much time and research, I realized that the Masters of Education in Digital Teaching and Learning was the one I wanted to pursue. It would not only make me more marketable when I began looking for jobs, but it also allowed me to learn more about technology and how to incorporate it into education. This is crucial as today's classrooms are being more immersed in technology than ever before. Teaching my dog to fetch was the basis for my action research study report. My abstract was, I will attempt to teach my dog to fetch. She is a 5-year-old Pomeranian Chihuahua mix. She can currently sit and stay but has never been able to fetch. The problem is that I have never researched different ways to teach her to fetch. I have only tried throwing the object and expected her to retrieve it, but this has not proved effective. I will research different techniques to teach her to fetch, and will try to adapt them to her needs and to her learning. By the end of this action research, I hope to have a fetching dog, or at the very least, I hope to have a dog that is interested in learning to fetch. I am going to try different ways to teach my dog to fetch. I chose this topic because I have always wanted to play fetch with my dog, but she will never go after the object that is thrown. This action research gives me the opportunity to research different ways and ideas to teach her to fetch by also allowing me to spend time with my dog. The first thing I did when trying to carry out my AR intervention was to search methods of teaching dogs to fetch. After finding different ways of doing this, I picked one that I thought would suit my dog best. I have previously used treats with my dogs as incentives for good behavior. Knowing treats have been an effective way to teach her tricks in the past, I figured what better way than to use something that has previously proved effective. To implement this theory, I grabbed one of her toys and threw it in her direction. If she went near it, she received a treat. If she didn't, then I tried again. If this did not work, I would implement a different plan of action. Using positive reinforcement did not give good results. My dog had no interest in the toy, she just wanted that treat. This is where I came up with Plan B. I found this very helpful instructional video. The steps that I implemented from this video were to find a toy that she seemed the most interested in. Play with the dog using the toy for a few days, but don't throw the toy just yet. This will help her become interested in the toy. After a few days of playing with the dog using the toy, throw it. Once I threw it, she chased after it. She didn't bring it back, but was interested in the toy. I made sure to reward her when she showed interest. I did this for a few more days, throwing the toy a little farther every time. I didn't get her to actually pick up the toy and bring it back to me, but I am sure that if I continue to practice with her, she will eventually learn. Just seeing her interested in the toy after I throw it and having her run to it is a great improvement for her. Because of that, I can say that this action research study was successful. This is my results graph. As you can see in the graph, I graphed my results over 5 days. I graphed the number of times my dog showed interest in the toy after it was thrown. The key above the graph shows a dark green for positive reinforcement and a lighter green for Plan B. As you can see, there is no dark green in the graph, meaning that the positive reinforcement had no effect on her interest level in the toy. You can also see the Plan B results steadily increased over the course of 5 days, showing that my dog was understanding the concept of fetch. The results of this action research study were not what I expected. I originally thought positive reinforcement would be the way to teach my dog to fetch. I really enjoyed the action research process. I enjoyed the fact that I could take something I have been thinking about doing for a long time and finally working through it to find a solution to the issue. I'm glad that I was able to spend some fun time with my dog. I also enjoyed researching different ways to teach her to fetch. Not only did I make advances in teaching her to fetch, but I also learned how to research things so that I am able to use this skill in resolving any other issues or problems that I may have in the future. My unit topic is investigating life cycles. It is a 15-day unit on life cycles, including that of the frog, the butterfly, and the ladybug. Within these 15 days, students will be introduced to the different life cycles. They will master each life cycle and the stages that occur within it, and will be able to compare and contrast between them. Students will show their knowledge of these life cycles while using technology such as podcasts, computer programs like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, computer games, video recordings, and a web quest. This unit covers second grade life science standards in which students learn about predictable life cycles. It incorporates technology, Bloom's taxonomy, and the multiple intelligences. In this unit, students not only learn but also investigate the life cycles of frogs, butterflies, and ladybugs. I chose this topic because I thought it would be a good way to challenge myself in how I can incorporate technology into a unit that has been taught mostly by handouts, worksheets, and other non-technology based tools. I knew that incorporating technology into such a nature-based lesson would take some time and some effort to be able to mesh the two together seamlessly. I also chose this topic because I knew it could lead to a lot of group-based learning as well as self-investigating. I feel like students need to learn to work in groups and to be self-learners with the help of teacher guidance, and I knew this lesson would be a good basis for this. My goals for this unit are to provide students with the opportunity to correctly use and handle technology provided in the classroom, the knowledge that life cycles are different for some animals, the opportunity to work in groups, and the knowledge of the different stages in the life cycles of frogs, butterflies, and ladybugs. My unit portfolio consists of 15 days worth of lesson plans. In the unit, students will work with technology as well with each other. The biggest part of this unit is the last week, in which students will go through a web quest that I have created. This web quest will be done after I have already taught 2 weeks into the unit on life cycles. This web quest not only leads the students through an investigation into the life cycle of frogs, butterflies, and ladybugs, but it also allows them to use technology. The web quest is to be done in 6 groups of about 4 to 5 students per group. The groups will be divided into frogs, butterflies, and ladybugs, each having 2 groups. The students will cooperatively work together to familiarize themselves with the life cycle of their animal, answering important questions and taking notes in order to put together their culminating project. The culminating projects will be composed of 4 parts: a report on their animal, a PowerPoint presentation to go along with their report, a poster board of their animal, and finally an oral presentation of the 3 parts. In order to assess their work, I will be using this rubric for the students' culminating project. I will be grading all 4 areas: the report, the PowerPoint, the poster board, and the oral presentation separately. I created this quantifiable rubric so that students and parents know exactly what I expect in regards to the students' work. For the report, I ask that the topic is addressed and that all questions are answered, that several supporting details are included, that a first draft is included, and that the report be done on the computer. For the PowerPoint, I ask that the topic is covered in depth, with at least 10 facts, no misspellings or grammatical errors, and the use of fonts, colors, and graphics to enhance the presentation. For the poster board, I ask that the graphics relate to the topic, that at least 7 accurate facts are displayed, that there are no grammatical mistakes or misspellings on the poster. And for the oral presentations, I ask that the topic is stated, that at least 6 facts about the animal are given, that the students always use complete sentences, and that they are well prepared. As requirements are not met on any of the projects, I will deduct points. This unit is an overall fun and active learning experience.